The D&D adventure Curse of Strahd begins with a card reading. Well, technically it begins with a mad dash through a haunted death house, but then it starts with a card reading. The players will enter the Vistani encampment, where they'll meet an old soothsayer named Madame Eva, who will offer to read their fortunes. If the party agrees, and come on, who wouldn't, she'll lay out 5 cards from a Tarokka deck. This deck is essentially a tarot deck that the adventurer slaps a coat of paint onto. That's where a lot of content in D&D comes from, just cool real-world phenomena with a fantasy twist to fit your world. Since we're talking about Curse of Strahd today, I thought it was a good idea to reach out to some other D&D YouTubers who have some experience on the topic. I reached out to Cool Boy Shane, who has these incredible Curse of Strahd animations, and I definitely encourage you to check them out. Link below. Our conversation will be spliced throughout the video. Hope you enjoy. Madame Eva will flip each card, telling the party their fortune, or more likely, their fate. The first of the 3 cards tell the party of the location of treasures that can help the party defeat Strahd, the evil vampire ruling the land of Barovia. Some of these take you on grand adventures or have you solving riddles to determine the treasure's precise location. One of them just puts the treasure inside Madame Eva's tent, which is kind of a letdown.
Is the little girl hot or cold? Well, it turns out she's burning up because the star is right behind her ear.
And the game's over, seconds later.
The 4th card reveals a clue to an ally that the party may find and convince to aid them as they travel through the foggy land of Barovia. The 5th card reveals Strahd's location to the party. He's not locked to that location, but if the party wants to find him, that's where he'll be. I think the card reading is brilliant, and one of the best introductions to any adventure D&D has produced. Essentially, the Tarokka deck is an adventure randomizer that will make everyone's time in this campaign unique to them. You could play the campaign again and have an entirely different experience, purely down to this randomizer.
That's what I love about Curse of Strahd. It's completely different, even though it's all the same stuff, because not just because of the party composition, but because everything is randomized and goes in different places. And so where you go, that leads you in different directions that could have this event happens first in this game, which led to this and this and this chain reaction, then some other where it went the other direction.
Using something like the Tarokka deck to shuffle around elements of your game world can keep the adventure evergreen, and it's something I'd like to see more of in published adventures, and even put in my game. Some adventures achieve similar effects through different means. Rime of the Frostmaiden, for instance, uses character secrets that can be randomly assigned to players. This can shake up the game, as their secrets might alter quests or create entirely new ones through roleplay. The other thing it does is allow the players to start in any of the 10 towns in Icewind Dale. The quests associated with each of the towns can be done from low levels, so you can start from any of them and still progress. The comfort level and amenities each of those towns provides varies wildly, however, so if you were in my party when they rolled Dugan's Hole, the worst town in all of the Dales, you're still in for a rough time. Sorry guys. Something Rime of the Frostmaiden and Curse of Strahd have in common is that they're both contained open-world adventures, or sandbox games. Using a randomizer in sandbox games works really well, because with a design that encourages players to go anywhere, it's a good idea to give players hints on where to start.
Madame Eva turns over the 3rd card. This is a card of power and strength. It tells of a weapon of vengeance, a sword of sunlight. She reveals a Myrmidon. Look for a den of wolves in the hills overlooking a mountain lake. The treasure belongs to Mother Night. And we look at the map and it's literally like over to the west to this lake. And I was like, all right, west. Well, there's a lot of Barovia to the west. So we're like, probably need to do like a sweep at some point.
Now the question is, why would you do this in your own game? Say one you've homebrewed for you and your friends. You might think there's no point if your players are the only ones to ever experience your world, so placing things by hand is better than randomizing them, right? The thing is, you could make a similar argument for Curse of Strahd's card reading as well. The book suggests that instead of randomly drawing, the DM can pre-select cards in the reading to ensure a specific experience. The card reading still serves its purpose here because it gives the illusion of fate and chance, which is just as good.
I did a thing. I can't believe I forgot I did this. I did personal readings for everybody too. Which was, I just made them up where I forgot what exactly I said, but we had like this sneaky bard named Percival. I basically gave him a word like, you seek to lead, but be wary that you don't become a puppet of someone else. I wanted to like give him an opportunity to have a crossroads where he can either choose to forge his own path, or he does the thing where he follows his ambition, but really it's to the design of somebody else, which would have been Strahd kind of manipulating him, is what I was gonna do.
With that personal reading, did you pre-write it, or
I did.
like But did you use the cards to kind of add flavor to it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
I like it.
because like the pre-written thing was because I knew their characters, and it would be weird if it was a random thing that didn't have anything to do with them.
Of course.
So I wanted them each to feel like they had this deeper connection to these fortunes, but I then tied them to like a card that I had already pre-drawn. And
I
was
love
like,
it. That is
yeah.
so cool.
Think about it this way. You've most likely put a lot of time and effort in your setting and your adventure. You may have no ambitions of selling it or sharing it, but you will most likely use the setting again. D&D started with dungeon masters all having their own custom dungeons. I believe that idea has evolved to DMs creating their own unique worlds. You may think you're only building this world for this group of players, but as you put more and more time into it, you may find that the world has a life of its own. Now, what this really comes down to is taste. If you feel more stressed by this concept than excited by it, I'd say just skip it. But if the concept gets you stoked, here's a 3-step process on how to implement it into your games. The first thing to do is select the thing to be randomized. Maybe it's ancient treasures, plot MacGuffins, villain locations, legendary monsters, or player backstory elements. Next, you choose locations. Make a list of interesting places in your world. If you haven't filled out enough of your world yet, just word bank a couple of cool ideas, like the Time Jungle or the Infinity Dungeon. The last thing you do is think of a randomizer to fit the theme of your game. Anything having to do with fate or fortune fits really well with this sort of thing. It could be a game of dice with an avatar of death, a Hunger Games style lottery, or a library where the players must choose from many scrolls, each with their own destiny etched upon it. That's all there is to it. Adding flavor to each of these options is something you can do ahead of time or improvise on the spot, depending on what works for you as a DM. Thanks so much for watching. I want to thank Cool Boy Shane for chatting with me and offering his 2 cents on the concept. He just published episode 3 of his animated D&D series, The Peace Guild, where his party explores the iconic death house from Curse of Strahd. The amount of work that's gone into this series is pretty incredible, and I encourage you to head over to his channel and check it out. That said, please like, subscribe, and share this video with your gaming group. My name is DeHart, and your fate is sealed. See ya.